Howdy, and welcome to Man vs. AI, an experiment in which I, Joshua Nieubuurt, a CAPTCHA-certified non-reptilian mammalian, take on AI models technologically tuned to generate human language natural text in a tail-weaving battle of expertise. Today's opponents include OpenAI's GPT-3 and ChatGPT. May the best writer win. The focus of today's episode is the origin of the weed fairy, with a cap of about 500 words. I hope you enjoy! In a time when the earth was young, giants roamed across the great expanse of Mother Earth. Far and wide they ran, swam, crawled, cried, loved, and died. Standing in awe of her creation, the Great Mother knew she had forged a masterpiece on a small blue dot in the backwoods of the Milky Way galaxy. Yet the Great Mother knew something else. Something was missing from this creation. For eons, her creatures came and went, but she kept on creating, trying to fill each and every corner of the globe with her sublime influence. In the midst of this great experience, she found the creatures lacked psychic connection to her and her own beating heart. So she planted golden seeds far and wide. Some sprouted into beautiful mushrooms, others into giant oaks. But the very best sprouted into mystical herbs. As creatures found them and ate them, the connections became knotted, and the Great Mother knew that their hearts finally knew hers. As time went on, the giants passed into other realms, and newer, much more hairy creatures began their own dominion over the globe. Among them was the magnificent Yeti. For the Yeti, life was simple. Eat, sleep, fornicate, fight, repeat. The Yeti's greatest love was throwing fisticuffs. Many toppled from the heights during such duels, and into the deep snow rifts they tumbled, making the first snowmen. Seeing their raging hearts, the Great Mother decided to gift upon them an herb that would connect her to them, to show them the airs of fussing and fighting. Of course, the magic herb was already there, but the Great Mother had to think long and hard as to how to bring such a gift to these fighting creatures of the frozen mountains. Finally, deep within Yeti territory, she found one of the snowy beastmen, a Yeti by the name of Frosty Snugglestein. Frosty was unlike other Yetis. Rather than fuss and fight, he preferred to snuggle, frolic in the snow, and make sweet, sweet Yeti love. Despite his status as the premier paramour, he knew in his furry Yeti heart he was meant for something more. Seeing his purity, the Great Mother came to him in a dream.
Frosty Snugglestein, it is I, the Great Mother. I have seen your heart and offer you the chance to change the ways of your fellow Yeti. I offer you the chance to be the Weed Fairy.
She then flashed potentialities of his actions across time and space before his eyes. Yetis playing bongos was his favorite, but others stood out too. A land filled with snow angels, good music, and tasty eats. The eventual rise of Homo sapiens, Bob Marley, Willie Nelson, and Snoopy Dio Double Jay, and the peace the magic herb could bring to some people in the direst of times. Frosty Snugglestein nodded, gave a barbarian yup, and donned donned the magic golden poncho of the Weed Fairy. From that day forth, from sea to sea, heavenly mountaintop to majestic canyons carved into the great skin of the earth, Snuggleteen has weaved his way, planting seeds, sharing trees, and generating good vibes. And that, dear friends, is the origin of the great, powerful, and majestic Weed Fairy. Hello and welcome back. Now it is time for GPT-3 to write a 500-word origin story for a Yeti that becomes the Weed Fairy, include dialogue, jokes, and a great mother who chooses the Yeti to be the Weed Fairy. Now this one's pretty open, so it should be very different from the one that we just heard. Let's find out how it does. We'll submit this bad boy. Once upon a time in the land of snow and ice, there lived a small Yeti family. Living in the high mountains, the family stayed within their comfort zone, never venturing too far from home. One day, however, a mysterious stranger appeared in their village. She seemed to know about the family and was looking for an apprentice. The Yeti mother, knowing her children were special, chose her son to be the apprentice. The Yeti was excited and a bit scared. The mysterious woman introduced herself as the Weed Fairy. She told the Yeti that she had been watching him for some time, a bit creepy, and could see that he was the perfect choice to become her apprentice. She said he had a special gift and she wanted to teach him how to use it. The Yeti wasn't sure what to do, but his mother encouraged him to accept the offer. She said it was a great honor to be chosen, and that it would be a chance to be part of something bigger. The Weed Fairy then explained that she was the guardian of all plants, and she wanted the Yeti to help her protect them. She said he would be the guardian of plants in the mountains, and that if anyone ever tried well, here we go. To harm them, he should intervene. The Yeti was excited to take on this role and agreed to the apprenticeship. The Weed Fairy taught him all about plants and herbs and the powers they held. She also showed him how to use his special gift to help protect the plants. The Yeti was amazed at all he was learning and was determined to be the best Weed Fairy he could. Yippee! Years passed, and the Yeti became an expert in plants and herbs and their many uses. He was now known as the Weed Fairy, and people from all over the land sought his advice. The Weed Fairy was happy with his life, and he was grateful to his mother for giving him this opportunity. He often thought about how she had chosen him to be the Weed Fairy, and it made him feel special. He loved his new role and was determined to use his gift to help protect the plants of the mountain from harm. He was now the guardian of the plants, and he would never forget it. And that is the story of how the Yeti became the Weed Fairy. Excellent. Kind of boring. I am not going to lie. Not too much going on there. Very, very straightforward story. I could have done more with the prompt here to make it a little bit more exciting, but I just wanted to see what it did with the same idea. Also, I should have increased the maximum length here. Commander, sorry about that. So let's jump into ChatGPT. Okay, same thing. I guess I'm one of the lucky people that gets to use it. Lots of folks have been having trouble logging in and getting in on the ChatGPT fun. And here we are, just waiting for it to go. And if you haven't, please check out the last couple episodes. It has been a battle, a back and forth duel to the death. Luckily, we're all still here, so apparently we're not very good at dueling. I wonder who's going to win this time. So far, I'm not going to lie, I think I might win this. But we'll see what ChatGPT can do. It definitely throws some curveballs from time to time. So let's see what it's got going on. Let's start this party off right. Once upon a time, in the snowy peaks of the Himalayas, there lived a young Yeti named Jan. Jan was different from the other Yetis in his tribe. While they were content to spend their days hunting and gathering, Jan had a fascination with the strange and colorful plants that grew in the rocky crevices of the mountain. Oh, yeah. One day, while out on a hunt, Jan stumbled upon a hidden cave deep in the mountain. Inside, he found a beautiful garden filled with lush green plants of every shape and size. In the center of the garden sat a wise and kind-looking creature with butterfly wings and a long flowing beard. That is 100% a very interesting sounding creature. "Welcome, young Yeti," said the creature. "I am the Great Mother, and I have chosen you to be the Weed Fairy." Air guitar. Jan was confused. "Weed Fairy? What's that?" The Great Mother smiled. "You see, young man, these plants are not just weeds. They are magic plants that can bring joy and healing to all who partake of them. And it is your duty as the Weed Fairy to spread this magic to the world." Jan was hesitant at first. He had always been content with his life as a Yeti, and the thought of leaving his tribe and venturing out into the unknown was daunting. But the Great Mother assured him that he was the perfect candidate for the job with his love of plants and his kind heart. So Jan set out on his journey, armed with a bag of magic seeds and a newfound determination. He traveled through the mountains, spreading the magic plants wherever he went. He met many interesting creatures along the way, some who were skeptical of his mission, and others who were eager to try the magic plants. Jan soon became known as the Weed Fairy throughout the land. He would often be seen flying around with a huge bag of magic seeds, spreading them wherever he goes. He was always happy to share his knowledge of the plants and their healing properties. He also would make jokes about his name, Jan, and the plants he brought, saying, quote, "I make sure no one is ever bored, because I'm the Weed Fairy, Jan." As the years went by, Jan's fame spread far and wide, and he became a beloved figure among the creatures of the land. He had many adventures and made many friends, but he never forgot his duty to spread the magic of the plants. Thanks to Jan, the world became a happier and healthier place, and though he was often away from home, Jan always knew that he was doing important work and that the Great Mother was proud of him. The end. Woo! ChatGPT pulling through this time. That was a lovely story. Once again, I am always surprised by ChatGPT coming through. Excellent dialogue. A little funny. Definitely is not picking up what I'm putting down, not sponging what I'm spilling in terms of Weed Fairy, but it's very, very close. And it definitely has a bit of humor and fun to it. And as is normal with OpenAI, it has a very wholesome kind of message behind it. So if I could say anything, ChatGPT and GPT-3 are very wholesome technologies thus far. Non-combative, not getting too crazy, not particularly sexual or illicit. So once again, thank you for listening. If you have a vote, who won? Myself, GPT-3, or ChatGPT? Pop it in the comments, subscribe, like, all that good stuff that people tell you to do all the time. And if not, well, I hope you just party on and have yourself a wonderful day. Until next time, friends, goodbye.